Tesla's empire didn't crumble overnight. It was ambushed, and it took only 3 minutes. That's all the time Xiaomi needed to shake the foundation of the electric vehicle world. In just 180 seconds, the Chinese tech giant logged over 200,000 orders for its latest electric SUV, the YU7. The news hit the industry like a thunderclap, leaving analysts scrambling, investors stunned, and Tesla staring down the barrel of real competition. This time, not from legacy automakers or upstart EV brands, but from a former smartphone manufacturer. For over a decade, Tesla has reigned supreme. Its Model Y has held the crown as the world's best-selling electric SUV, praised for its futuristic design, blistering acceleration, and the magnetic influence of Elon Musk. But dominance invites challengers. And Xiaomi's entrance into the EV space didn't just mark a new chapter, it turned the entire script upside down. Real quick, if you're into videos that cut through the noise and break things down clearly, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps more people find this, and if you're not subscribed yet, now's a good time. We've got more deep dives coming your way. Also, drop a comment and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your take. Now onto the video. This isn't just a case of a new car rivaling Tesla's specs. It's a full-scale strategic assault, one that includes aerodynamic wizardry, lightning-fast performance, and a price tag that undercuts Tesla's flagship SUV, all backed by a company known for engineering consumer loyalty and seamless tech ecosystems. But what exactly is the YU7? Why did it receive nearly 300,000 orders within an hour? And how did Xiaomi, a company best known for making smartphones, manage to rattle one of the most iconic EV manufacturers in the world? In today's deep dive, we'll uncover how the YU7 shocked the EV world, dissect the innovations under its hood, analyze the controversies that came with its rise, and ask the critical question, is Tesla's dominance finally cracking? Let's begin with the moment that sent shockwaves through the industry. Xiaomi's debut of the YU7 wasn't just a launch, it was an ambush. During its June 26 launch event in Beijing, Xiaomi announced that its all-new electric SUV, the YU7, had racked up over 200,000 pre-orders in just 3 minutes. By the time the first hour concluded, that number had climbed to over 289,000. No other new EV, Tesla's or otherwise, has ever achieved that kind of velocity. The automotive world hadn't seen anything like it. Tesla's Model Y, which once seemed invincible, now had a serious contender. And this wasn't just a cheap alternative trying to gain attention. The YU7 launched with a starting price of $35,000, slightly undercutting Tesla's Model Y at $36,160. But that was just the beginning. The YU7 came loaded with features, futuristic design language, and a performance profile that had analysts doing double takes. A research note from investment firm Jefferies summed up the mood. YU7's pricing is slightly below that of Tesla Model Y, but it offers much better specs and performance. Model Y is the main target of YU7, and we expect YU7 would be able to take market share from Model Y. It wasn't just speculation. Following the launch, Xiaomi's stock price surged 80% intraday and closed the day with a 3.6% gain, an unmistakable vote of confidence from the market. What made this launch so disruptive wasn't just the volume of pre-orders or the lower price, it was the signal it sent. Xiaomi wasn't entering the EV game quietly. It wasn't dabbling in electric mobility like Sony or Huawei. It came in with a plan, a purpose, and a product that posed a real threat to Tesla's dominance in one of the world's largest EV markets. The Model Y has long been Tesla's golden goose in China. Since its debut in 2021, it has led the premium electric SUV segment with solid margins and unwavering brand appeal. But the YU7 didn't just nibble at the edges, it went straight for the throat, offering better specs, longer range, and smarter tech integration at a lower price point. The speed of Xiaomi's pre-orders also reflects something deeper, a growing discontent with Tesla's positioning in the Chinese market. While Tesla has enjoyed success globally, its recent price hikes, limited local customization, and concerns over data security have alienated some Chinese consumers. Xiaomi, with its strong domestic brand reputation and loyal tech-savvy customer base, saw the opportunity and seized it. But this strike didn't happen in isolation. It was the culmination of years of strategic planning, engineering investment, and calculated risk-taking. The YU7 is not Xiaomi's first EV. It follows the SU7, a sedan that has been outselling Tesla's Model 3 in China month after month. In just under a year, Xiaomi has gone from EV newcomer to a sales heavyweight, and now it's making its biggest move yet. Tesla's response? So far, silence. But the message is clear. The days of unchallenged dominance are over. The EV world is changing. And the storm didn't start in Silicon Valley. It started in Beijing, with 3 minutes that changed everything. When Xiaomi first announced its intention to build electric vehicles, many skeptics scoffed. How could a smartphone company, no matter how successful, compete with an EV pioneer like Tesla? Yet, behind closed doors in Beijing, a different reality was taking shape. One of calculated ambition, silent progress, and a vision that would eventually rattle the global EV market. Xiaomi's strategy didn't begin with flashy announcements. It began with deliberate silence. While the world continued to see the company as a mobile tech titan, Xiaomi had already initiated its EV ambitions under a secretive codename, YU7. Development mules, prototype vehicles disguised under camouflage, were soon spotted testing on city roads and dedicated tracks. Enthusiasts pored over every pixel of the leaked spy shots, speculating wildly about the vehicle's dimensions, features, and powertrain. This early visibility was no accident. Xiaomi played a masterstroke in strategy by submitting homologation documents, government filings required to get a vehicle approved for road use in China, far earlier than required. These documents revealed key specifications, triggering widespread buzz while granting Xiaomi engineers the legal green light to begin testing openly. This move allowed the company to fine-tune the YU7's real-world performance, including its noise, vibration, harshness levels, range optimization, and powertrain calibration, far in advance of a typical EV timeline. Simultaneously, Xiaomi was constructing the core of its EV operations, the F2 factory in Yizhuang, Beijing. Launched in August 2024, the plant was originally scheduled to be completed by July 2025. But in typical Xiaomi fashion, speed was part of the strategy. Development accelerated rapidly. By May 22, 2025, Xiaomi hosted a full product launch event that revealed both the interior and exterior of the YU7, well ahead of most industry timelines. The design screamed confidence, sharp, aerodynamic, and futuristic without being alienating. Just weeks later, at Auto Shenzhen 2025, the public got their first glimpse of the actual vehicle. Xiaomi showroom displays opened shortly after, and the crowds came in droves. In response to surging public anticipation, the company moved up its official launch date to June 26th, weeks ahead of its original July schedule. That shift signaled something important. Xiaomi wasn't just building cars, it was building momentum. It's important to note that the YU7 wasn't born in a vacuum. It followed the success of the SU7, Xiaomi's inaugural EV sedan. Since its release in late 2024, the SU7 has consistently outsold Tesla's Model 3 in China, a feat no other newcomer had accomplished. The sedan gained traction not just through price competitiveness, but through the seamless integration of Xiaomi's consumer tech, its software ecosystem, smart home controls, and user interface experience. Even Ford CEO Jim Farley gave the company a nod of respect. In a statement last year, he revealed he had been personally driving a Xiaomi SU7 for 6 months and wasn't ready to give it up. When a legacy automaker CEO openly acknowledges the quality of a new rival's vehicle, it sends a signal that transcends product categories. It's a signal that the market is shifting. Xiaomi's entrance into the EV space was never about matching Tesla, it was about outmaneuvering them. The company used its expertise in rapid product development, hardware-software integration, and consumer insight to leapfrog many of the traditional obstacles that trip up legacy automakers. With its factories operating at speed, its engineering roadmap solidified, and its tech legacy fueling trust, Xiaomi didn't just sneak into the EV world. It built a Trojan horse, and now it's rolling straight into Tesla's territory. At first glance, the Xiaomi YU7 looks like a sleek, futuristic SUV, but underneath its aerodynamic skin lies an engineering marvel designed to disrupt not just Tesla, but the very way we think about electric vehicles. Xiaomi didn't just build a car, it engineered a mobile smart ecosystem wrapped in aluminum and carbon fiber, and delivered at a price point that rewrites the playbook. Let's start with design. The YU7's drag coefficient is a staggering 0.245, placing it among the most aerodynamically efficient SUVs ever made. To achieve this, Xiaomi conducted over 40 separate aerodynamic optimizations, refinements that go beyond cosmetic tweaks. The vehicle includes active grille shutters that open and close based on airflow needs, flush door handles to eliminate drag points, smart rear spoilers that adapt to speed, and vented rear wheel arches that reduce turbulence. One of its most eye-catching features is the clamshell hood, which Xiaomi claims is the largest aluminum hood ever mass-produced. It's not just for show. It weighs half as much as traditional steel hoods, helps shave 78 drag counts, and increases the vehicle's range by 59 kilometers on the Chinese CLTC cycle. Every design detail, from frameless side mirrors to aerodynamic wheels, has been sculpted with a clear mission: maximize performance through air. Inside, the YU7 is no less ambitious. The vehicle features a 1.1-meter wide hypervision head-up display, HUD, built with mini LED technology that boasts 903 zone local dimming and 1200 nits of brightness. It functions as the driver's instrument panel, infotainment system and navigation assistant, all powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip. Boot time? Just 1.35 seconds. For most companies, a screen like this would be the headline, but Xiaomi goes further. It integrates HAD, its in-house supervised autonomous driving suite, which includes a roof-mounted LiDAR unit, MM-wave radar, 11 cameras, 12 ultrasonic sensors, and an NVIDIA Drive AGX Thor U chip that can handle 700 trillion operations per second. This suite rivals Tesla's full self-driving beta, and in some aspects, even exceeds it, particularly in real-time sensor fusion and low-light object recognition. But the real magic lies beneath the surface. Xiaomi has reimagined the vehicle's entire electrical architecture with its 4-in-1 computing module. This system combines autonomous driving hardware, infotainment control, external communications, and core driving logic into just 2 master circuit boards. The result? A 75th reduction in ECU, electronic control unit count, 57th less hardware footprint, and a 47th drop in system weight, all of which extend the range by an additional 14 kilometers and reduce standby power consumption by 40%. Despite its high-tech ambitions, Xiaomi didn't cut corners on safety. The chassis is made of 90.2% high-strength steel and aluminum. Front crumple zones, die-cast impact attenuators, and tubular alloy reinforcements ensure structural integrity. According to company data, the vehicle has passed over 50 independent crash tests, exceeding the highest standards set by China's regulatory bodies. In short, the YU7 doesn't just challenge Tesla, it redefines what a modern EV can be. It blends cutting-edge tech, aerodynamic mastery, and software-first design into a single machine that feels more like a spaceship than a car. Yet somehow, it remains accessible to the everyday buyer. And that accessibility, paired with excellence, is what makes the YU7 dangerous, not just to Tesla, but to every automaker still clinging to old ideas of what a car should be. Success rarely comes without scrutiny, and Xiaomi's YU7 is no exception. While the company stunned the world with record-breaking pre-orders and jaw-dropping features, it also attracted a fair share of criticism, controversy, and public debate. The launch of the YU7 wasn't just a commercial event, it became a lightning rod for questions about transparency, safety, and corporate ethics. The first controversy erupted almost immediately after the launch. Huang Jiaokun, deputy head of the powertrain development department at Dongfeng Nissan, took to Chinese social media platform Weibo to question the authenticity of Xiaomi's order numbers. Users will have to wait more than a year for delivery, he wrote. No country has such blindly loyal brand fans. The post went viral, and not in a good way. Within hours, Xiaomi fans and auto enthusiasts alike blasted Huang for what they saw as corporate jealousy and condescension. Many pointed out that Xiaomi's success in smartphones had built a loyal customer base through product excellence and affordability, attributes now transferring to the EV space. Faced with mounting backlash, Huang deleted the post and issued a formal apology. But the incident opened the floodgates to a broader debate. How transparent are EV order numbers, and how long should consumers reasonably wait for a car? Just as that story faded, another emerged: Xiaomi's no-return policy for the YU7. Unlike electronics, where customers expect flexible return options, Xiaomi declared that once a YU7 is delivered, there are no takebacks. That rigid stance shocked some buyers, especially first-time car owners used to Xiaomi's consumer-first approach in smartphones. Critics called it tone-deaf. Supporters argued it was standard industry practice. Regardless, the move created tension between Xiaomi's tech-friendly brand and the high-stakes realities of the automotive world. But perhaps the most heated controversy involved the car's tech itself, specifically the use of a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor in the infotainment system. Tech experts questioned whether it was appropriate to use a smartphone-grade chip in an automotive environment, where functional safety is governed by strict standards like ISO 26262. Concerns flared that Xiaomi may have cut corners in its rush to market. Xiaomi's response was clear. The Snapdragon chip is used solely for the infotainment and user interface, not for any safety-critical systems. All autonomous and driving controls are handled by NVIDIA's Drive AGX Thor platform, which is fully ISO certified. Technically, Xiaomi was correct, but in the world of consumer perception, nuance often gets lost. These controversies may not derail the YU7, but they raise critical questions. Has Xiaomi fully adapted to the cultural and regulatory expectations of the automotive world? Is the company prepared to manage the long-term life cycle of complex machines that transport human lives? One thing is certain, the EV battlefield isn't just about specs and sales, it's about trust. And Xiaomi is learning that while it may have won the product race, earning credibility in a fiercely competitive market requires more than cutting-edge engineering. 3 minutes. That's all it took for Tesla's dominance to be called into question. In the time it takes to order coffee, Xiaomi's YU7 racked up over 200,000 orders, sent shockwaves through the global EV market, and made it clear that the age of unchallenged supremacy is over. This wasn't a fluke. It was a calculated, strategic, and highly engineered move by a tech titan with deep pockets and even deeper insight into what modern consumers want. With futuristic design, industry-leading specs, a price-to-performance ratio that's rewriting the rules, and an ecosystem that extends beyond the vehicle itself, Xiaomi has proven that it's not here to play catch-up. It's here to lead. Tesla, once the symbol of disruption, now finds itself being disrupted. And while the game is far from over, one truth is becoming impossible to ignore. The next chapter in the EV revolution might not be written in California. It's already being driven in Beijing. Once again, thanks for watching this video. If you got something out of this, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next one. And hey, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Agree, disagree, or something in between? I'd love to hear it.